All right, and good morning. We are doing today a session. Good morning. We're doing today a session on the Flex2B installation and configuration together with the elements that play along to do a complete working setup. So what we are doing right now on the internet, again, we are on the flex2b.eu/documentation. And if you look at this section technical, you can actually see that we're having some kind of subsections and it will describe whatever is needed. So Flex2B is a system where we can have multiple servers in place, where we can have several roles in place, and where we can do a centralized but also a decentralized setup. Now, today we're going to concentrate on getting a one-on-one communication and configuration done. And to start doing this, it's interesting to know the elements that might play. So if we're looking at the server installation, and I just clicked on in the documentation on server, we see some kind of elements that play with it. Yeah, you can all read it through later on if you want to on the internet, on the documentation side. But basically what we need is, first of all, a central database server, and that might be multiple servers if you want to. That's one. Second of all, if we go to the cloud or the services version, we need to have a web server installed as well. For Flex2B as being the single instance where it is installed, we mostly advise people to install it at a home location on a server, which can be a location on a Samba server with a share. And then later on, we will also look and copy the binaries in. The binaries are, in fact, the executables and the way how we see or how we maintain it. And then as the very latest part, we will go to the .ini section. And the .ini section is, in fact, an initialization file so that it knows where to log into or where to work to. Yesterday, I provided you with a store that you unzipped. And what we have included in that store is basically two databases. And why two databases? Well, Flex2B uses two databases. The first database is very limited in configuration. It has 5, 6, 7 tables in it. One of them is for the Windows part or the classic UI, because I don't talk a lot on Windows interface, but I usually talk about the classic UI. Well, we have some startup parameters over there. What might be the case? The case might be that you have a central location in London, for instance, yeah, and that you have two branches, one in Sao Paulo and one in Tokyo, for instance, and they can connect to the other sites as well. So in that FTP base, there will be the storage of all database environments that we are, or database servers that we have. What is the advantage? The advantage is that you launch the application on a local LAN server site, this high-speed transfer, but that you can connect to remote instances. There are customers that work this way. Next to that, we have a second database, and that second database can have whatever name, where we will store the local, not the local, the site dependent information. So everything on logistics, inventory, traceability, and whole the shabam. Yeah. Basically, the combination of this makes it possible that you have, for instance, one base entity, and that you might have, for instance, 3 separate databases. So suppose you have a business in coffee, and in the same company or the same entity also has a business in bananas, for instance. Yeah, you might, that's a choice. Yeah, you can put them all together, but you can also tear them apart. Suppose that it are two fiscal entities. You might say we need to get them out of each other. And then on top of that, you might say, okay, third application or a third environment is, for instance, a central environment, so that you let those two replicate to that one central. Sky is the limit a little bit. So our very first task, Caroline and George, is setting up this environment. And George provided me with a team viewer. So what we're now going to do is we're going to minimize the meeting, but we're going to keep on talking over the meeting. Yeah, going to minimize the meeting. And over here, and you might need to help me on this one, where you have put everything in space. Yeah, and I'm gonna, just for my convenience, so I'm having a Asus couple PC and an instance SQL Express 01, I guess. Okay. And your RM15, which is a very modern version of the database. Okay, it's brand new, it seems.
Yes.
That's actually fine. And can you tell me where you have decompressed everything? The big download where you unzipped it.
I didn't get one.
I did you a retransfer yesterday.
But I didn't receive any email.
I sent it to the. I sent it to your dataaccess.com.br, or what is it?
Oh, I didn't receive that. My directly email now is. Could you send it again today?
Yeah, but we need it to advance, of course.
I will
look at retransfer. Sorry. What is it saying? Yeah, just click on that, what is needed to download it. I'm just gonna cut my video just for a little bit of speed issues, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so
It's 18 minutes now.
What does it say? 6 minutes or something else?
5 minutes, no?
Okay. So, okay, then I'm just gonna start talking a little bit on what we're gonna do, yeah,
Okay,
and let him do the downloads.
okay,
What I gonna continue on, that is telling you, so we have the central database, yeah, which we're
yeah,
gonna set up. Once that is done, we're gonna, the web server, we're gonna skip for the moment. Let's just skip for the moment, yeah, because then we need to configure IIS and stuff like that. We're gonna go to the home server environment.
yeah,
Once that is done, yeah, we're gonna go to the F2B binaries section. And in the F2B binary sections, we have in the programs folder a flex.b.ini. Now, what is the intention? The intention is if I click on workstation installation, or wait a sec, yeah, let's keep it over here. The idea behind it is that the Flex2B, we have the core Flex2B, which are two components. That's Flex2B and that's the daemon. The daemon always runs on the server, and it's to configure a set of background applications. What might be the background applications, Caroline and George? Connections to ERP systems. It can be that local workstations cannot connect to the ERP, so we're gonna guide that from that daemon process.
yeah,
Printing to, for instance, pallet card printers or to barcode printers, and so on and so on. And why do we not want to do that on the workstation of the client? Because we cannot be sure that they have the right and the correct drivers installed. And all this needs
yeah,
to work fluently. So what we're doing is we're queuing things and then the daemon will print, for instance.
okay,
For each and every major version that we release, we will release Flex2B such as the highlighted Flex2B executable, meaning Flex2B followed by a particular build number. And the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is in fact the build number, and that's the number which decides whenever there's a person that starts up a new or a higher build, yeah, that will become available for all new users. What?
okay,
How do we do that? Well, we're not putting a shortcut to the flex2b.exe. No, we're doing a shortcut to the flex2b control center. And the control center will know what the latest version is, yeah, that you have released, and it will launch that newer version. So, for instance, suppose that we had something which was called flex2b.exe, and it was still in use somewhere, you could never do the update. And you always
yeah,
have to stop people acting or running the application, and that's not what we want to do.
yeah,
So what do we do instead? Instead, we compile the flex2b binary to a format such as this one, and the flex2b control center will automatically launch the latest version. That's the way how we are working.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's the way how we can do inline updates rather easily. Okay, it's almost done. That's good. If we look at the
um,
workstation installation, yeah, what are the requirements that we need in the workstation installation? We need the Microsoft SQL Server client, yeah, and that is or the native server client or the latest OLEDB client 18 dot something. From data access, we are currently on the latest released version, which is 19.1. Yeah, and we have a shortcut over there. We have the classic user interface. We have co-jocted, yeah, and we need the binaries of 16.4 and 18.3. Why do you still need the 16.4? Because not all components were migrated to 18.3. Then we have multiple DLLs that might need registration, yeah, but they're provided in the programs folder in the work environment. If you want to, you can install the Data Flex2B client runtime, and you can install the SAP Crystal XI runtime if you want to. But this one is most likely depreciated. Then we use an EA send component for the distribution of emails. And as the latest one, we have the SQL driver of Murtic data, which is available in the programs folders.
Okay.
So
That's all is complete.
Basically, this should guide you with whatever installation, depending on where you are in the company and what you want to do. Here, a little bit of environmental references. So you can include or copy and paste those things from this help environment, George and Caroline, to make your own documentation in Portuguese, for instance. Yeah.
Okay.
Then, based on the system requirements, yeah, we have over here a document that you can use. And on the technology characteristics, yeah, we have some, so you could right click and say, save this picture, yeah, or this image, yeah. And if you want to have this image, this is made in Visio, it's or on Dropbox or I can send it to you, yeah. But basically,
Okay.
this gives you quite some idea on how everything is interacting, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just read it through when needed, yeah. And yeah, it's all available there. So copy, paste, be smart with it. Don't go reinventing what is already done. So you can always use the index or the search button over here. But basically, this technical part is more or less needed to understand. We're using for the services component SOAP 1.1, SOAP 1.2, and we're using RESTful services as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And hopefully by now your download is done.
Yes, it's done.
Okay. Let's start extracting it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more difficult as what I thought it was. Yeah, whatever. Just put it somewhere. It's 1.2 gigabyte compressed, so.
Okay.
Yeah, but I included mostly everything in it. Yeah, also sample reports and so on and so on. So
Yeah.
there are some demonstration reports in it, etc., etc. So, but it's more a decision on what you want than on what we want on that part. I guess one of the first things that you can do is make an environment with reports that are interesting to the people.
Yes.
So you're on SQL 2019. To be honest, that this is the first time that I'm working on SQL 2019, so it'll be an interesting test case as well.
Okay.
What did you already install of Dataflex 19.1, CodeJock, stuff like that?
Yeah, I guess I have all installed now.
Okay, yeah. Okay, very good. And 18.2 is also on the system?
I have it, but I stopped the service from it.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
not
need, I
that's not
start now.
no, that's not important. It's just to know whether the CodeJock components know or yes were installed.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyway, I included everything, so if needed, you can run it from there. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
we're not needing the studio. You can close it.
Yeah.
Let's see whether my SQL database is already unzipped. Okay, those are already unzipped. So we're going to start with
Okay.
this. We're going to start with this one.
Okay.
Yeah. In your SQL Management Studio, we're first going to attach them. Honestly, it doesn't matter whether we're going to work through an attach or that we're going to work through a scripting file or whatever. Yeah. The advantage of doing now a restore of one of my development databases actually is that we have some data in it, so that when you're walking through it, yeah, that you're not running against non-configured items. So one of the first things is, and I try to do, yeah, I'm gonna start a restore database. And I don't have a pop-up. Okay, I'm gonna attach to a device. Hmm. Weird. Is this your machine, George?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
So we're first going to start with restoring this one.
Yes.
My question for you is, where do you want to have it restored?
Uh, yeah, it's the better you think is. I don't know. This is one for each service only.
It's for that database server. This is a small database. The other one can grow big.
Yeah, but you can put anyone any you wish.
I'm going to see what it's proposing.
Okay.
Currently, your machine is suffering. I don't know.
Yeah, uh, I'm sorry, I don't receive the zip file. Yes, I don't know what's happened with the email.
No
I will
problem.
check with Sydney.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
But yesterday I also sent the invitation, and it didn't come through either, and the bulleted list.
Yes,
So
yes.
there might be something with the
Email address.
yeah.
I will check with with Sydney what's
Hmm.
happening.
It's still doing its best over here.
And we are not at the office, and
No
our
problem.
is not our server. That's another problem. We
No,
are working at home.
yeah, no problem. So it's proposing you to install over here, but that's totally your server, how your server is installed. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want
Yeah,
to change, if you want to change that, go ahead. You can put it for me at whatever location. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
That's it. That's
Wait a sec. I still have over here something. Yeah. So you have one for the MDF and one for the LDF. So the database file and the log file.
okay.
You can change it if you want to, and the moment you're satisfied, you can say execute. George, are you gonna make changes, or can I just execute?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm sleeping. Yeah, you can execute. Sorry. I will follow your feelings. You can do what you.
I will never install a database at this location.
Okay.
What I usually do, that's such a thing like this. But basically,
Okay.
that
That's okay.
that's I, I would do such a thing. New folder, yeah, and I call it SQL data, for instance. Yeah, I would put it in such a location. Yeah, that it is
Okay.
away from my server, because otherwise, if you migrating to SQL Server 20 version 20, for instance, yeah, your
Yeah.
location of your 19 might not be available. So I would always do it like this.
Okay.
But basically, this has nothing to do with Flex2B. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is just how someone is defining. Caroline, also for you, if you duplicate this on your computer, yeah, you can do it wherever you want. So basically, what I'm doing now is I'm restoring that little database. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna make one which is called F2B base. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's that startup database. So I just say execute. Okay, I think this one is already done.
Okay.
What does that mean? Is that something an error or not? Are these errors, or did it say okay?
Okay. Okay. Completion.
Okay,
Okay.
top. Now I'm gonna go to this one, and let's say I want to, and again and again and again. So we're gonna go to that same location where that backup was restored. Yeah, that's then the second one. And this one will be the big database where all WMS traceability, quality, and so on information is in. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. and you see that it has pinpointed it to another location, yeah, to another database. And I'm going to script that one as well. So this is my second one, okay, and I only have two databases. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to install it at that same location. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, but Caroline and George, that's your decision, not mine, eh? Okay?
No, okay. Yeah, okay. No, no problem.
Okay, so basically it comes from here, that's okay. I'm gonna go to install it to this database, yeah, and to that log file. And that's basically good. And let's just execute it. This might take a little bit longer, yeah, because it's a little bit bigger. What I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna clean the backup that I've done. So if you want to repeat it, you can repeat it.
Okay.
If we have future releases of Flex2B, it might be that I send you a script so that you can script the updates that are required.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is now very typical, let this one restore. Very typical is that it knows the credentials of my machine, but it does not know the credentials of your machine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Understand.
very
Yeah.
typical. So what we need to do is we need to do some things, but this is just SQL administration stuff. First of
Okay.
all, first of all, I'm gonna go to the security, to the users, and I see over here a few users standing. Yeah, this is one of my older machines. This can be deleted. Yeah, and I first need to inspect something, whether it was installed in embedded mode or not, the server. And that's always clicking around because I don't know it by heart. Okay, what you are doing over here, you have Windows authentication mode. Windows
Yeah.
authentication mode works always unless you have a computer that connects through a VPN, which is not on your domain, yeah, or which is a
Mhm.
standalone machine. So usually I configure it to SQL Server and Windows authentication mode.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a good one to remember. If you work with
Yeah.
a DMZ zone, yeah, see that you can embed through other means and not only through Windows authentication mode. If you're working at a
Okay.
customer site, yeah, it might be even interesting to have an embedded user that you can connect to because your host is probably not on their infrastructure defined.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I just say,
Uh,
okay, normally we need to stop and start SQL Server, but I'm first going to do some other adaptations. Yeah, so over here I'm going to clean up my users and my security. Uh, why does, I first need to give it. Yeah, the ESA user is currently the owner of it. Yeah, so I need to give it another ownership. So then I'm gonna go in the security of the server, logins. Yeah, and I take, for instance, your host, and I say properties. I'm gonna go to the user mappings. Yeah, I'm selecting F2B base, and I say you are DB owner. And I'm gonna go to this one, and I also say you are DB owner, so that you have full access rights on those two servers. Okay? So this is an account. Let's see whether we can drop it now. I don't know what it says. Basically, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna restart the server so that it is coming into embedded mode. But this has nothing to do with Flex2B, yeah? This has only to do with DBA stuff, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Understand that.
Was it started or was it? Yeah, it was started. Let's go again and look at the security. ESA. Okay, this one was done. And the security over here. I currently have no ID, but yeah.
It said it can't be removed by.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look, and this is a classic password that I'm not revealing to you guys, but
Okay.
you can use whatever. You can use whatever user account. Yeah, maybe you make a DASA or something like that. One of those embedded accounts that you always use. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's connect to a database engine. Let's just give it a test, and I'm just gonna try to do something else. Local host. Let's just see what it says over here. You see how I'm working?
Yes.
So I guess let's try this one first. Doesn't even want to do that one. And actually, this doesn't. I see some things. Now I'm gonna take. It's just to do a test, nothing more, nothing less. And I
Okay.
was able to save in the table, yeah, with my ESA account, yeah. You can do whatever you want with whatever account you want to add as well, yeah. So
Okay.
you basically see how I've tested it, and
Yeah.
in the same time, I guess that now most of the things are ready. So in the SQL data, I see these files popping up, which is great, yeah. And now I can go back
Yeah.
to your downloads folder. Do you have a comparison tool or something available? No?
Mm, I didn't get it. Please.
Okay, no problem. Just leave the originals over here, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, and under your data, fastly gonna copy everything.
Yeah.
Right, the word fast is relatively. Okay.
Efren, will you send this video to us?
Yeah. I downloaded. Sorry, I'm gonna generate it. Yeah, and I'm gonna
Okay.
send you the link so you can download it. I'm gonna put it on WeTransfer. Okay,
Okay.
and you just
Yes.
acknowledge that you have received it. Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
That's why we are
Yeah. Yeah.
videotaping everything. So
Yeah. That's very good. That's very good.
so basically, you have that demo folder. Under
Okay.
demo, yeah, you have Flex2B claims. You have Flex2B, and the next one which will pop up is planning. Yeah, but today we're gonna concentrate on Flex2B, for instance. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So in my Flex2B, I'm having here over here the development version.
Okay.
So you get the whole workspace except the real source code. That's
Okay.
something when that is needed. That's something that needs to be retalked. How we're gonna do that?
Okay.
At the customer side, I will never put such a thing like develop 191 or something in it. Yeah, it's just
Okay. Yeah.
Flex2B, and at some customers it's Flex2B 6. Yeah, but
Okay.
because I'm working in parallel sometimes between multiple versions and then a development edition and a test edition and so on and so on, it's in my folder name. Yeah, so that's clear for
Yeah.
me. This is already on Git, this is in development, this is on test, this is on UAT test.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm giving you the latest version where I'm working on. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I want you to be as close to the traject as possible and not 2 or 3
Okay.
or 4 builds behind. That has no sense. So basically, yeah, the database environment has been installed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, suppose this one over here, your Flex2B 191, is your Flex2B installation. What I might
Okay.
do, what I might do is I might say, for instance, that my base over here has share, yeah, and miljard. This is sharing, I think, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. Sharon.
okay. So what you might do is when it's on a Windows server, you can make an SMB share of it, yeah, so that other
Okay.
computers from distance can access this share, and that you only
Yes.
have one installation of the Flex2B work environment. Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course,
Okay.
you're going to
Yeah.
install locally the runtime, but you've already done that. So you're going to install uh, Dataflex runtime, Dataflex reports runtime, your code jobs, your native server, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Okay.
basically,
That's
because you have all this on one machine, we don't need to run it through, but you can
yeah.
actually go to that documentation site and you see all steps that need to be installed. What
Okay.
might also be interesting for you, that is, it's not yet here. Yeah, it's being copied over, I guess.
Yeah.
You're in your downloads folder, and we're gonna look over here, but that will come to your new disk. I'm also having this folder, which is called a deploy folder. And in this
Yeah.
deploy folder, you have the edition 2020. You see a set of directories and runtimes that are involved. Yeah. So you
Okay.
might just click in that, for instance, native client and say, I'm going to install the 18.3 version of the OLEDB. Yeah. Or over here, we also have the depreciated version of the native client. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a workstation that does not have a SQL installed on it, yeah, you might need to install or this one, yeah, or the OLEDB version of it,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the same for the third party stuff. The third party stuff is in fact something that you never will need because the FTA software is typical to a specific device, yeah.
Okay.
And that's a fruit texture analyzer to measure the hardness of the fruit, the firmness of the fruit, to do bricks analysis, bricks like in
Yeah.
sugar, yeah. But
Yeah.
probably for you were focusing on the coffee industry, they will have
Yes.
similar softwares, and that's something where you as a developer can come in so that you make the client and you store the information through the soap interface or through the the RESTful interface directly in Flex2B so that it is in the store of Flex2B. Yeah, but this was just as a sample, and for one reason or the other, I can't click anymore on your. Do we still have
Right?
connection? Hello? Are you still
Hi,
in?
Frank.
Yeah, I still understand.
Uh,
I still hear you, George. I still
yeah.
hear you, but team viewer.
This, yeah, yeah. Can you try to connect again? It's but I don't know. I
Yes,
guess it's the internet broke
on the same
down.
on the same credentials.
Yes, all the same. I guess it's the internet break. You have a break.
Okay.
It's waiting. Now, it's asking about two files.
Yeah, in your those. Oh wait, I hear myself back. Okay. In your those were those two backup files.
Okay.
Yeah. So probably most of the things is over, I think. Yeah. So on the share, you can do that share. Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably clear. So in that, deploy folder 2020, you have all the
Okay.
components that need to be installed. Dataflex 19.1, you recognize it. Yeah.
Okay.
Chip, as promised us, hopefully he remembers that for that
Yeah, I remember that.
business,
Yeah.
yeah, we could get some academic versions of Dataflex and Dataflex reports.
Okay.
Basically, these are the components. We'll see as we go on with the application, yeah, whether yes or no, the whether yes or no there are components which are missing. Okay,
Okay.
so let's continue. So we have now I'm gonna act as we have now installed Dataflex 19.1. We have installed the code jobs. We have installed all those components needed in the deploy folder. In the toolkits, you find something which is called F2TP. Yeah, and
Yeah.
F2TP is a software that we have written ourselves, and that is an FTP for multi-sites. Yeah, and it's based around an EDI mechanism that we have established. Basically, suppose we have an EDI file which is called abc.csv, for instance. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What might be the hard case, that is, we're still generating that abc.csv file until the moment that an FTP tool or whatever tool sees it and tries to send it over. But we're still
Mm.
in a generation phase, which actually
Yeah.
means that they're sending over half a file. Well, we've made a mechanism so that we generate the file abc.csv and nothing is happening on transfer, yeah, until we
Oh.
make an ABC file, so exactly the same file name, dot
Mm.
a particular extension, and we usually call it TRL, Tango Romeo Lima, and that's standing for trailer file. And F2TP will sniff, for instance, on a trailer file, and once it is available, it will send over the corresponding CSV file. And that
Yeah.
is for a FTP multi-site, which actually means, yeah, I'm based in London, as in my example. I'm gonna FTP files to Brazil, to Sao Paulo. I'm gonna send over files to Tokyo, Japan, yeah,
Yeah.
all from one tool, yeah. and it's completely configurable. Yeah, that's one of the background tools. You don't need to use it. You can use it. Yeah,
Okay.
and it might be that this is still on 18 dots. Now, it's also on 19.1. Yeah, that's also typically my versioning. So the first digit is my major version of the software.
Okay.
My second version number is the year I'm releasing. The third part of the version is the runtime that is needed. Yeah, you will find it
Okay.
always returning. And then that 18, that's build 18 of this application.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you need to have a mechanism in place to do automatic distribution of files, you might, you don't need, you might use this one.
Okay.
That was on the
Okay.
toolkit section. Yeah. If we go to that demo base, then we have over here the claims. Yeah. The claims is a web-oriented database. Yeah. And it's running in a separate environment. Why is that? Because our claims environment is often not the same as our Flex2B environment. Yeah, it is something
Yeah.
with a very limited web user interface where people can only store claims. Claims might be, for instance, your customer, yeah, who is claiming for fruit issues like rots or softs or other things like a pallet that is damaged or whatever. Yeah. Then we have a planning module. That's a web-based planning tool where market managers do requests. Yeah, people that are all over the place do requests for production. And in the production,
Okay.
they can assign it to certain machines and certain resources.
Okay.
The future of Flex2B, that's something that you will often see returning. And then the most interesting for you is SQL scripts. And you see over here a SQL script of quite some years. And we always do a double year. And a double year is because we see something as seasonal. Yeah. Your
Okay.
season might start, for instance, now in September, and it might run until February. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And then
understand.
we also, you will see it back in Flex2B, something which is called supply year. We talk about the supply year and not the fiscal year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your fiscal year and your supply year is not always the same. Yeah. I,
Yeah.
I have no affection with the coffee bean industry, so that's something where you need to look into bright yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, when you see this one, such a SQL script, yeah, and I'm just gonna open one. It really doesn't matter. Yeah. Ah, you're also using Notepad++. Excellent. Yeah. Then you will see that we're having over here a scheme which is called fmanage and a database which is called SQL script. So let's just look at this one. Copy. Yeah, and that's resided not in F2B base, but that's resided in F2B DB10. Yeah, you will see over here our scheme at the bottom, fmanage.sql script. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go to a new query. Yeah, I'm. I think I'm a lazy guy, so pasta. Yeah, and I say run. So it says that my database version is up to SQL 14,308, Dataflex 191, and then you see some military formatted date in it. So this means that this is the version of the latest script, yeah, that has been run. So you can always, in the SQL script, we will normally automatically do an update of this scheme and table, yeah, so that you always know from each and every version of the database where is it, yeah. So if you have a VPN connection to your customer, you might prepare things already based upon the version there is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah. That's something that you will find back in each and every installation. Yeah.
Okay. That's very
So
good.
if you look at this over here and we go to Control End, yeah, then okay, when we're doing data inserts, that doesn't count as a script update, yeah. But for instance, alter table and so on, yeah, we could do this. And because I know that it is my development environment, yeah, I can already say copy, because I know this one was applied at my development environment, and we could already execute this one. You just to know, the Microsoft SQL Management Studio.
I use, but I don't use directly in SQL. I use all times in Dataflex, but
Okay.
I see that. I know something about.
Okay. And you, Caroline?
Too.
Yeah. She too. It's learning for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna.
But no problem. I will no problem. If we don't know something with SQL, we have people to help us.
Okay. Top. So this to prepare the backend environment. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're gonna go to a phase which we can call configuring Flex2B itself. Yeah. And configuring Flex2B itself, one of the main things, yeah, that is, we have a file which is called flex2b launch.ini. Here it is.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. And what do you see over here? Over here, you see the startup of my kickoff database. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's saying your, your database server name is this one, and we can change it, or we can leave it to localhost, or we can put it at that other one. Yeah. Honestly, it really does that SSPC. And then we have /SQL Express 01. Yeah. So /SQL Express 01. Okay. And my kickoff database is called F2B base. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Save. I'm first going to start it from here, okay?
Okay.
And you see that this is the latest version, yeah, that we're having. And I have no idea. Okay, now it comes. Let's just launch it. Yeah. Just answer your call.
No problem.
Sorry.
Alternator.
I have no idea what this is, but this seems to be your
It,
antivirus.
yes, it is. Can yeah, yes. Maybe.
I have no idea what it's saying or doing or trying to do.
I said only to execute ever.
Okay, it says that particular components are uh,
So,
not installed. Yeah. So let's say okay. Does it start or does it not start?
I guess not start. Not, not,
This is not what I want. Up. And this says something else. Login failed. Name pipes provider could not open a connection to SQL Server 2. So what I entered in that ini file seems not to be correct.
yeah.
Basically, it does not see any server.
Mm,
Local host. I cannot even. I can it be that the connection with the internet is gone again? With TeamViewer, I guess.
yeah, but is ready to connection. It's down, but return.
Okay. So, okay. Local host. Okay. Cancel. Can't open table. Okay. Let's give it a new shot. I'm. It says a particular.
I don't know if is it calling data flex 19.1?
It should be calling Dataflex 19.1,
I
but
don't know.
wait a sec. Okay, this is already partial good. So I guess that we're gonna install. Let's go to the deploy folder. Cancel. Don't want this one. Uh, I've seen a Dataflex report is on your system. Is that Dataflex reports 7 for developer or standard? George? Hello, George. Hello.
Wait,
Yeah, George.
yeah.
Yeah, it seems that your
Uh,
internet was gone because I don't have.
it's now ready again. That's a problem. Uh, may I click install now?
Yeah. Just go ahead. I'm logging in over. Okay. Oh shit. Sorry for the words. My computer sounds. Okay. Okay. We're just gonna see whether this was a component that was not installed. Basically, George and Caroline, you want to install all those elements that were in my deploy folder. Eh? I'm now trying to
Okay.
speed up things, but normally you just install everything. It's not
Yeah.
good yet. If you have people that know their PowerShell very well, they can automate those tasks. Huh?
Okay. Better.
Yeah, but then you really need system administrators. There's someone
Yeah.
over here for a colleague. Please keep the line. I need to open the door. Okay. Please,
Yeah.
please
It's
hold the
okay.
line. I'm back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Just in time.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now I did not. Yeah, I did not have my com. So if I just went installing my Gojo components as I normally should do, yeah,
Okay.
everything is okay. Over
Uh,
here,
uh,
it's now says another issue. It says error 2 SQL state login name failed name pipes provider could not establish. This is actually, I can now have made two errors. Error 1 would be that that I have made an error in that .ini file, yeah, but I typically copied and paste this section, yeah,
okay.
or it might be that there is an error with the SQL server and the client itself. I guess it's number 2, yeah. Suppose I'm doing this over here, and if I just click on that drop down, it shows me the files. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it did not, if I say trust anonymous and I do it now, it also says it. But it says something on a named service provider. I'm now going to say connect. And let's go to PT because that's an account that I made. So PT exists and runs, in fact. Ah, yeah. PT and the password was also PT. Yeah.
Okay.
It still comes complaining on that named pipes provider. Yeah. So basically, for one reason or the other, I cannot log in into that server. So let's check what the server configuration manager is saying. Yeah. I'm going to click on the server configuration manager, and this is DBA work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has nothing directly to do with Flex2B. And you know you can launch that through MMC. So let's see which protocols are enabled. What does this mean? Habilitado, does that mean enabled or disabled?
Enabled. Enabled.
So these are enabled. Yeah, for the
Yes.
native client. That's already good. On the server, I'm having over here two protocols. You see, I'm having
The first is
sorry, two instances. That will be on an older one, and this will be on a
okay.
newer one. So let's
Yeah.
click over here. And now the question is, do we enable it? Yes or no? Yeah.
No.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but it needs to be enabled. Yeah. I
Yes.
cannot connect.
Sync enable.
Yeah, I cannot connect to a server over named pipes. I'm gonna connect it over help me over TCP/IP. Yeah,
Good.
so I'm gonna
Okay.
enable that one. Sorry, my Portuguese is a little bit rusty.
That's it. We need to start the service.
Okay. Okay. So TCP/IP is enabled. I'm gonna also enable those named pipes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to start
What is this one? Protocols.
configuration.
Yeah, all enabled. What is this
Now
one?
enable.
Nothing. So my services, this one.
This one is okay. It's in operation.
Yeah. So I'm gonna restart it. Is that
Okay.
is that restart?
Yes. Is that restart?
So basically, Flex2B is giving the error. Yeah. But probably
Okay.
the error was not because of Flex2B or that the ini file was not good. It was that the SQL configuration needed to be adapted.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
No, but it's good that we have it now because then you can
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. For me, it's very good.
Yeah, but now you know the reflexes that I have whenever I see a thing.
Yeah.
And what does? Sorry, my rusty. What does it says?
Yeah. It have a fail. Uh, it tells to consult the event logs to see
in
what
Portuguese.
happened.
In Portuguese.
Yeah, this is a fail.
Yeah, but
I never install Portuguese version. I never do that. But this machine is other person
yeah. So
which do that.
parar, that's stop.
Stop. Yeah, but I stop.
First want to see if I stop this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I see that you have two instances installed, and I'm
yeah,
starting that one.
yeah. That now is wrong.
Yeah, but you see what happened? Yeah,
Uh,
probably this one and this one are both having a listener on port 14,000. No,
yeah,
1433.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
this
if I
never
look,
happened. It's only because
yeah,
we installed the
yeah,
yesterday.
okay. So this one can be closed. Yeah, let's go again to our programs folder, launch the executable, and it still does not want to.
In the name of the server, you don't need the Express SQL name, localhost SQL Express name.
Sorry, I didn't understand that one.
Uh, when you are in the to login,
Yeah,
the name of the server is only local server. Don't have the name Express.
no, it's here. Localhost backslash SQL Express 01.
Yes, but in the when you start Flex2B, don't have this name.
Yeah, but it's
There's no problem.
here. It already says very early.
No, it's the other the other screen, the login of Flex2B.
Yeah,
Not yet. Next, the next.
yeah. I know, but I'm only adapting
Okay.
that one when this one is working. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just try. No. What was the name of your machine directly? Asus PC,
Asus.
like this. Have to be base. Save.
Yeah.
Okay. What does this say? Timeout or something like that?
It's activity. I guess it's timeout.
Yeah. Looking at my screen. Ah, pocket. You see, it's not configured on the default port.
Okay. Hmm.
What does this say?
Happen a fail. Yeah, we need to see event log. Yeah, it's this one. It's this one.
Yeah.
This one is a good events.
Ah, I got it. It was only.
Yeah. Yes, application. This one.
No idea what it all means.
Let's see, what's happening now?
Okay.
The middle food. The middle food. Making the new country. Uh, would you like to clear this and try to start again to see?
Oh,
Because,
okay. Leave this one, this open. Probably this will not start either.
nice start now.
Okay. I'm too stupid to understand this one.
That's
This is okay. Yeah.
yeah, that's
This is okay. Yeah.
uh,
Just for you as a sample. Um, for you as a sample, I'm gonna write something like database server name sample with port definition.
yeah,
Yeah. And then you could write such a thing like localhost. I guess then it is a comma. Yeah. And then
yeah,
my port number. Yeah. Such a thing like that.
yeah,
Yeah. Then it's my dynamic port, followed by the name of the SQL Express O1, for instance. Yeah. That's
okay,
the way
okay,
how you could do that. Yeah. But I want to get it.
yeah, okay,
If such a thing is most likely they use a standard port which is 1433.
Okay.
Okay, so far we are, yeah. Now, I this has nothing to do with Flex2B. Yeah? This is just connection between the client, native client, and the server. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now, first introduction to the databases. Yeah. And if we look in F2B base, yeah, we will actually have a particular data, and that is called that Z table. And that Z table, yeah, data flex to SQL, yeah. And over here, I see all my definitions, yeah, of ports we are having. Honestly, you don't need all these definitions or all these ports, yeah. What you,
Okay.
yeah, you're just gonna, but over here you see our user can switch from one server to the other, yeah. Over here you,
Yeah.
yeah, over here you see a sample, yeah, where they're connecting from several ports, like this one is in Zeebrugge, this one is in Vigo, this one is in Tilbury, this one is in Marin, Pinova, Fado, Verona, Saluzzo, and the last one I don't know.
That's cool.
Asia, Shanghai probably.
It's very
Uh,
cool.
yeah, so you can have everywhere the same database. You start your software locally, and you're going to connect to the instance where you need your data to be managed. Yeah. Now, from
Yeah.
your
Okay.
perspective, yeah, I'm gonna adapt database 99, yeah, because the 99 database is also per default, and you cannot change it. The database that will be used to log in automatically by the cloud server. Yeah,
Okay.
that's always instance 99. And for you, it was localhost, and I forgot it a little bit, so I don't like to
Yeah.
do double work. Copy. So
Yeah.
over here, that's the database server instance. Yeah. And this is my database name. My database name, George and Caroline, that's this one over here. But
Yeah.
if you want to call it George or Caroline or whatever, yeah, you can just
Yeah.
enter over here George or Caroline or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just
Yeah.
going to save it. Yeah. And let's just see. So PT was a user, yeah, with the username PT, but you can make new users, yeah, that's no problem at
Okay.
all. And you see that it's now as a default instance as,
Yeah.
yeah, because that
Yeah. So.
PT, yeah, I've given that PT user pretty high rights, yeah, and
Okay.
he or she can actually change from to whatever
Oh.
server, yeah.
Oh. Cool.
Of
Very
course,
cool.
those servers are not available to you, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I know
you could
that.
make, yeah, but you could make your own instances of these entries, yeah.
Okay.
For the moment,
Okay.
leave them in so that you have a showcase, yeah. Like for
Yeah.
instance, the 91 over here, we have a test case on Azure Amsterdam, yeah, where we can log
Yeah.
in into the Amsterdam server. The second one, this one, is probably on soft layer, IBM soft layer. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you see that there are already other names. You see F2BDB, F2BDB10, F2B Cool,
Okay.
and F2B ZWMS Cloud, Choc. That's by the way a chocolate producer. Fresh to be they were in the I don't know. I think it's lettuce or lettuce. I don't know how the fresh produce is. That Boujabel, that's Tunisia. That are those that's and so on and so on. So there are some in it, but it's just to showcase.
Okay. Good.
For you, we're gonna log in into this instance. yeah, so which it says by default, and we're gonna try to do the login, and Flex2B is starting.
Oh, yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah, so all the issues that we had until now are not really Flex2B related. It was or the ActiveXs which were not installed, or it were the ActiveXs which were not installed, or it was a database server versus client configuration issue.
Yeah, that one again.
And on the level of the database server, we saw that it was not listening on its default SQL port, which was port 1433. So if we
Yeah,
knew that in advance, yeah, we could already in the login database change that. Help me. That we could already change that uh, that parameter. Yeah. And now I don't know what he's saying. Ah, yeah. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, basically it's doing some connection whether particular servers and particular environments are available. Yeah. So the demo.flex2b.eu is the cloud server. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just say that,
yeah.
yeah. Let it continue. Yeah, but that's just parameterization. Eh? For me, it's
Yeah,
equal to the demo.flex2b.eu. But basically, what it's testing right now is the configuration of the web services. Yeah, whether those are available or not. Yeah, you just close this one, this image. You can just close it.
hold on. Mm, it's waiting. Can I close?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, but it seems that is your antivirus doing something or what?
Yeah, it's my antivirus, but I give permission to
Yeah,
access.
server responded with a server soap fault. So okay, that's something that we still need to check upon. But basically, Flex2B on your machine is working. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So configuring the web services, um, quite some things might need configuration. Yeah. For instance, over here, your rules of engagement. Yeah. You are in
Okay.
on the demo.
Okay.
Yeah. That means remember that in an earlier session we said to you, you can use the. We're just gonna distribute one version.
Yeah.
You remember, we're just gonna distribute one version, but
Okay.
include, depending on your rules of engagement, how it should act and what it should do. Yeah.
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 Okay.
And if we
Yeah.
go lower, you see already here's some URLs that you might need to change. Yeah.
Okay.
In your administration tab, yeah, you can
Yeah.
also make some modifications. Yeah.
Oh,
And one of the first modifications that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put your user, sorry, that's in sysadmin, I'm gonna put your user in Portuguese. Yeah. So the PT
okay.
user,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it into Portuguese. I'm
Oh.
gonna save it. And the next time, most of the windows should come ex except the administration ones. Yeah. And
Okay.
those which
Yeah.
are relatively new will get, help me, registered in,
Yes.
will be translated to Portuguese.
in Portuguese.
Yeah. For administration master tables over here in the Flex2B system table, yeah, you can see I'm
Yeah.
gonna double click to get a little bit more on my screen. Yeah, you can click through all these because these folders need to be adapted to where it is installed at your place. Yeah.
Okay.
Also for the EDI.
Okay.
Yeah. All these folders need to be adapted. You see?
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all parameterizable. Yeah, and
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
here
Okay.
you already see that my URI service, yeah, the URI location when addressing the central web server is this one.
Okay.
Now in the now upcoming phase, yeah, we're gonna install the web server locally at your computer. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if I go
Yeah.
back to my Flex2B part, my documentation part, and I go to the server installation, then we're gonna go now over this part. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
for our web services, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can go. Yeah.
I know. So basically, what I see over here is one, the ugly message bar over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not nice. I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. You go to your C program files. You go to CodeJock ActiveX 18.3, your binary, yeah,
Yeah.
and we're looking for a file which is called
Yeah.
registrator, and I need to register
Yeah.
my Unicode pages,
Okay.
yeah, because we're working
Yeah.
Unicode. So I register it, yeah, blah blah blah, administrator, yes,
Yes.
because by default he will only install the ANSI ones.
Okay.
And we close this one down. The next thing that I want to show you, I'm going to leave this one open for some particular time, yeah, and that is I'm going to go to program file. I started this one, yeah, but
Yes.
next week, yeah, there will be a build 14,330, for instance, yeah.
Okay.
So if you link to this file on your local workstation, you will always run this one.
Yes.
That's not what we want. Yeah. If you do a
Yeah.
workstation installation, I want you to open this one. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say I'm gonna send a
Yeah.
shortcut, for instance, to the desktop. Yeah.
Okay.
Click. Let's go over here. I have it. Yeah.
Yes.
Caroline can follow as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
here.
Because I'm always hearing your father. So I go to
Yeah.
the properties, and now we have two arguments which are important. Yeah.
Yeah.
WS no. Yeah. If I go to my help file again, yeah, and we look over here on this section, the Flex2B control center, when you
Mm.
use it as a workstation, yeah, you need the parameter
Yeah.
WS, and no
Yeah.
means it's not gonna auto update. If you have
Okay.
if you have a workstation, yeah, normally there is a mechanism in place to go and look on an FTP server and to get the latest version from that FTP server.
Okay.
Yeah, but honestly, George, I'm gonna put that for a later phase. Yeah, that's already deep down. But a workstation, yeah, someone who is working in the shed or in the cool store or wherever, you don't want that person to be part of the update mechanism. So that's why that no is important. The
Okay.
WS is important to say I'm acting as a workstation. There are other parameters as well, but just utilize or use WS from workstation and no as a parameter.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say apply. Okay. And because I just started manually as a system administrator, I started this executable. Yeah,
Yeah.
it went and see what was the latest version that is available. Yeah, and if this one is
Yeah.
newer, it will auto update this information. So by
Okay.
launching now this link, okay, back to you.
Oh. And
Yeah, that's typically for your workstation. Huh?
yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Now it should auto launch. Yeah, you see it auto launching. Normally, if that antivirus was not, and it auto launches directly the correct components. Yeah. Again,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna start it now. I'm first gonna configure your web services. Yeah. And then we come back so that
Yeah.
we can adapt the information. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So on web services level, yeah, on web services level, we gonna go to uh, your web application administrator.
Okay.
Yeah, click.
I let out. I'll stop it. You don't.
No, 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 no problem, no problem. I had a message from a customer on the WhatsApp chat, which I just said
Okay.
I was in meeting. I'm gonna configure a new application. Next, I'm gonna browse. Yeah, and I'm gonna browse for I'm gonna go for that home folder of Flex2B. Of course, you choose your folders as you want, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
Yes.
have
Okay.
two environments. You have web app and you have web app DHTML, yeah. Basically,
Okay.
these are two environments, yeah, that you can run next to each other. One is the SOAP web services and the REST web services. The other one is the web application. Yeah. Currently,
Okay.
I'm only gonna configure web app. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Because over there, I've done something that even Dennis from Data Access didn't think was possible. Most of the time, I configure it this way.
Okay.
It's up to you how you do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
Yeah.
I limit
Okay.
my number of entries, and I don't want to see all the coming by. I just want to see the errors. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And why is that? Often when there is an issue, you hear it an hour, 2 hours later, and if you log each and every communication and you have limited the number of entries, it might have already been vanished from your log.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it at 1. Yeah, honestly, normally you do process pooling, etc., but 1 should be sufficient.
Okay.
Well, for your test and demo purposes, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and basically what you can do is, okay, you don't have an HTTPS environment, but if you have an HTTPS environment, you could
Yeah. Okay.
relate to the HTTPS, and the workspace is normally Flex2B.eu for the web services. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's European based. If you want to call it something like LA or whatever, go ahead. Yeah, it's all
Okay.
parameterizable. Yeah.
Okay.
The application name is, of course, contacted to Flex2B. Yeah.
Yeah.
.eu. We're gonna continue, and hopefully it wants to get online. And it doesn't come online. Yeah. Okay, good case tool. The question now should be, why doesn't it become online? And what does it say? Ah, this is a very simple one, but you need to know it. You see this one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So there are several ways to attack it. Yeah. One of the ways to
Yeah.
attack it is you enter over here a username and password.
Okay.
That's one. Or let's go for the second one. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I just want to show you both possibilities.
Yeah.
So let's go to the Dataflex 19.1. And how do you see that it is starting? It is
Yeah.
starting as a local system. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now you have again two possibilities. Or you grant that local system the possibility to log in into your SQL server. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna make a service account and let that service account log in into and that you log in with authenticated Active Directory security, but in
Yeah.
your local server. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, I understand it.
good. So I'm gonna go to my properties and I'm gonna say my logon. Let's say a particular user. Uh, which is your account that you're using here?
Yes.
This one, eh?
Yes. This one.
Okay, okay. Now it's up to you, and it are all dots, so honestly, I don't see it. You can type in your password,
Yeah.
backspace, backspace, backspace.
I don't know. I need to put one time.
You don't even know your own password or what?
Yes.
That's with all those biometric stuff. People tend to forget their own passwords. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now the sneaky trick is to stop and start. So, okay. So our server, or better said, the DataFlex web app service is now running with another credential.
Yes.
Good.
I ever use this way too.
Sorry?
I ever use this way too.
You have or you didn't?
No, I always use this way to configure it.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go to our HTTPS. Oh no, S is not configured. HTTP/local host, and this has nothing to do with the SQL server logging into. This has to do with the IIS we're logging into. Yeah, so local host or Asus PC, that could also work. Whatever. Yeah? Asus PC / and then flex2b.eu, and one which is available .htm. Yeah. Yeah. So that's that IIS page. I'm gonna use, for instance, that SOAP WMS palette info service to test it. Yeah. Give me a palette information. Yeah. And one which normally is in my test database is this one. And it gives me my web services information.
Okay.
Sounds good, eh? Yeah. So
sounds very good.
okay. So you remember that your antivirus was saying that it was trying to connect to the demo.flex2b.eu. Yeah.
Yes. I remember.
Okay. Now we're gonna change that to the instance of your own web services server.
Okay.
Yeah. Which can be, yeah, and you see over here, you have a lot of configuration standing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what you want to do, it's gonna go and ask your local web service or your remote web service.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So it's in our days, George, we had some courses. Yeah, I think you're also graduated informatics, which was called Modula 2. Yeah, and Modula 2 was trying to describe the ideal object orientation, and that you would ask a question to the world and that someone in the world would answer. Yeah. Basically, this is what Flex2B is doing, depending on whether the application is available at the central site or at the local site. For instance, you have a palette that you have created in Japan. Yeah, you import that palette in Sao Paulo. Yeah, and you just scan the number. Then, if you don't know that instance of that palette in Sao Paulo, you might say, I'm gonna ask at the central headquarters, London, what we said in our example of today. I'm gonna ask the web service in London, do you know this palette? Do you know the material? Do you know the grower? Do you know the quantity of the packs, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, and it will inherit all this information from the London server.
Yeah. Okay. That is very very cool.
Yeah. So
I like it.
but of course you need to parameterize all these.
Yeah. I understand that.
And in your case, it was the Asus PC.flex2b.eu. I'm just gonna save this one. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just gonna minimize it because there are some other things that I might need to configure. Yeah. And now let's start it again. Yeah, you see that it's popping through. It's searching for the latest version. Yeah, it finds the latest version is at 14. I made that user PT with in uppercase password also PT, yeah, and I'm logging in.
Okay.
PT is a high level user, so PT is doing those checkings that
Okay.
an ordinary user does not have to, or does not do.
Yeah.
You
Right.
understand? Yeah, it's because
Yes, I understand.
yeah, that PT user is so high that it's now doing all kind of checks. Is this available? Is that available?
Yeah.
It's a balance to see that it is optimized. Yeah, but once
Yeah.
Flex2B is loaded, it should go very smoothly.
Yeah, I understand that.
And here it is. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I can just yeah, I was too late. I could just close it, and you see that it didn't give me any problem anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, if you see in a label that square thing with that question mark sign, that means that these are not yet translated to Portuguese. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you look
Okay.
over here, yeah, you already see that quite some things are done in Portuguese. So
Yeah.
let's take
Yeah.
that stock unit inquiry. Click. Yeah. Then you see that a lot of things are already uh,
Okay.
configured in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the way Flex2B works, I'm not gonna concentrate today because we are already, I think, 3 hours or something like that in session. Yeah, it
Yes.
will be the next time, and then also persons such as Paolo, Felipe, and some others need to attend as well.
Yeah. See. Yes.
Yeah.
Understand that.
Okay.
I will take a look on everything in the.
Yeah, but we're not finished yet, eh? Yeah, we're still in
Okay.
configuring phase, eh? So
Okay. Okay.
if you want to get a coffee or something like that, we can break for 2 minutes, eh?
No, no, for me it's good.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Next to the web services, we also have the web application. Yeah, and this is also
yeah.
available. So we are going to configure a new web application. eh, Here it's a local application, but you can use load balancing as well. And you can use the load balancing of data access, or you can use the load balancing which is configured in IIS.
Sure.
Yeah. So the executable for that web application, that cloud application, is web app DHTML. Yeah. I'm gonna log in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, the same set of. Yeah. Let's take a process pool of 2 pieces. Yeah. So that you can
Yeah.
see that it is effectively process pooling. And then the workspace over here is just Flex2B. Yeah. And this
Okay.
needs to be changed to this footprint.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And you will see that one available if you look at the folder structure. It says, are you really sure that you da da da? Yes. Application name is not flex2b.eu. The .eu was for the web services. This is just flex2b. And here we are. Okay. Oh, it did not start. Yeah, that's my event log. That's not important. But the thing is, why did it not start? Ah, okay. I'm having another component not yet installed, so I'm gonna go to my deploy folder.
Nee.
And that's this one, my EA send mail. And why is that? Because we do email alerting over via the internet.
Yeah. Sorry.
Finally. Okay. So we're gonna go to the website, and it's called just Flex2B. And here it is. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay, let's just log in. I do. Okay. And now I can go to sysadmin, security, web users. Okay, I'm gonna use Frank. Yeah, that's mine. I'm gonna give you exactly the same rights as I am having. So I'm just gonna say copy user.
Okay.
Yeah, and now you need to fill in these things.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I won't see it. I will not see it.
Only, yeah, correct.
And you will get an error. Create. Ah, you're not getting the error. Okay. And then from George, we're gonna make one for Caroline. I think they're not. Okay. So now I can log out of the system. And you can do your login. Yeah. The only thing it doesn't see right now is, in my opinion, because I've forgotten something. No. Okay. Let's go again to your users. And we're gonna put your language to Portuguese. Save. Okay, we log out again. On web servers, it goes faster than this one. I think.
But this machine is not so. I
No.
will try to installing a server.
Yeah, and you see that particular things are already in, like stock unit inquiry not, but if I look over here, yeah, most of those things are already in Portuguese.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, unless up to a particular moment that that I didn't supply Paulo with an update. So there are quite some things that still needs to be translated.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you have the ID from this is actually what it does or give. Yeah. Now
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
want. I'm just gonna take SSCC. It really doesn't matter which one. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the stock unit passport. Yeah, and that's based on Dataflex reports 7. And I will immediately see whether you have it installed or not. Yeah, so this is a report which is generated now on the fly, and you have some stock unit information, including over here a barcode. Yeah, and this is my PDF streaming component inside, so you could print it. Yeah, and then you can even scan this barcode, etc., etc. Now there are multiple reports over here which you can adapt, and if you want to know where to adapt, yeah, they're all stored in this folder. So if I go to my demo base Flex2B, I'm gonna go to my workspace, in fact, and I see over here my report, tick tick. I see over here a set of predefined reports. What you might want to do is this drcon.ini, yeah, you might want to change these things. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep the ID names. Yeah. Keep the ID names, but things like user ID, password, and the server location can be adapted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this then is not based on the Murtec driver. This is based on the data access driver.
Yeah.
So it's a micmac of 2 drivers. Yeah, but Nick from Data Access Netherlands already asked to move Flex2B to the data access driver, and I really want to do that, but it's a huge job. Yeah, and the issue is that but the issue is not that we need to convert it. Yeah, but when we convert it, we need to make sure for our customers that everything is still working. So the Q&A phase is enormous big.
Yeah, I understand.
And that's the main reason why we are still on the Murtec driver, because in the past there was a huge advantage for the Murtec driver to the data access driver, but this narrowed a lot.
Okay.
No, but it's just to get the mindset why it is done. Okay, so again, let's take your browser and we're gonna go to the flex2b.eu/documentation. Yeah. Yeah, that's a site where I was always referring towards. Yeah, and let's go to the technical session.
Okay.
So let's just see on the server part. Yeah, let's do the audience, IT technical personnel, but also business consultants. Yeah, the people of Dala, for instance. Yeah, together with you. Business analysts. Yeah, people that really need to analyze the processes of a customer to put it into schemes and to really design for you. Yeah, how we're gonna implement Flex2B, single site, multi-site, etc., etc. Classic user interface, web services user interface, connections to ERP systems, what needs to be what needs to be connected and ERP'd, and so on and so on. It's also for
Mhm.
IT architects that need to look at the requirement versus the things that we tend to solve. Yeah, and
Okay.
under those the audience is rather big because it's a co-work from several elements. Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
if Dala wants to connect towards the academic world with the universities and stuff like that, they will have case tools. But in the meantime, your setup, needs to be done in such a way that you can get their goals can be met. Yeah, and it all depends
Yeah.
also on things like bandwidth, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
This has nothing to do with Flex2B on itself. Integrators, and then some
Okay.
really core users, people that need to in company explain to the rest of the company how particular things are working.
Yeah. Okay.
So the outline, the server environment, the database setup, that we have covered quite intensively. User rights level, I have given you a fast introduction to it. IaaS, we have configured it. Runtime
Yeah.
environment with the Dataflex 19.1 client, we've done that. 19.1 server,
Yeah.
we've done that. Your modern HTML capable browser plus PDF plugins, we've seen the Google Chrome. The individual
Mhm.
component registrations and purpose explanation. Why did I let it fail? Because then I could explain you why it was used. And
Yeah.
yeah, but normally you would go from 1 to 5, 6, or 7 at the bulleted list.
Yeah.
Then as an installation and configuration test, a primary walk through the applications that we've done and see whether everything was working together. The classic UI I've showed you just by starting it and clicking on a few things. Cloud and touch interface that is on the Google Chrome that I've showed you. The
Yeah.
background tools, I've talked about Flex2B daemon as one of the background tools, and F2TP, which is a EDI protocol-based software.
Yeah.
Workstation installation basically on the desk of the user. Yeah, we
Yeah.
recognize two interfaces: the classic user interface, also called the Windows user interface or the GUI in the time.
Yeah.
You need to be sure that there is a Microsoft SQL Server client which is available. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
having given you here the link to two of them. The Data Access Data Flex client, yeah, workspace.
Yeah.
When it is a server, the web component hosting server.
Yeah.
CodeChalk 16.4, 18.3, then multiple DLLs that need registration, they are available in the programs folder, but we have also
Okay.
run those CodeChalk stuff and things like that. Maybe I need to add that. CodeChalk is in it. Yeah. Then runtimes, that was included with you, but that one is available. That is a Dataflex Report 7 client, which we tested
Okay.
over here through the web application. The EA send mail component is needed to do automatically mail sendings, and then the Mertech data SQL DRV is available in the programs folders. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
future-wise, version numbers, all kind of software connectors. Yeah, they can vary very fast. So it's something that we need to look on the spot. What is changed, why it is changed, and so on and so on. And then, yeah, for the record, all product registration marks belong to their respective holders. Environment references. Here a little bit on if you need to enter some things so that third-party integrators know what it is about. Yeah, so for the Flex2B home folder, SMB or Samba-based server, we're not going to install the The only thing that we install locally are runtime components. Yeah, Flex2B on
Yeah.
itself stays on a share. Database server, a SQL-based database server. Yeah, we have balanced since 15 years on Microsoft SQL. Yeah, yeah, a modern SQL with the right cumulative updates or service packs.
Okay.
The native client, but you've seen that we've now installed on 2019 and that it works.
Okay.
Your
Excellent.
operating system internet server should be always a Microsoft Internet Information Server. It will not work on Apache. And we
Okay.
have the Flex2B web services, the REST services, and the cloud edition, which can be installed on top of that one. Yeah, over
Okay.
here again, a set of components, and then the framework Archer. The framework Archer is a framework of Joseph and me and some of the colleagues that we have embedded in Flex2B.
Okay.
Yeah, something on a technology representation, just click here, click, yeah, and we will go to another technology representation of how Flex2B is co-relating and co-working with other systems. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you need to provide to other persons some overview, you can copy and paste all kind of images from here. Yeah, you can just read it on the fly. What might be interesting if you have integrators, yeah, that is we have over here a cross table that is defining from the cloud internally to the cloud DMZ to the headquarter to a production site to outlying to internet to VPN,
Okay.
all the protocols that are needed. So SQL, if it is on the standard port, which is 1433, yeah, you don't need to specify anything. But as your was primarily defined, it was an alternative port, so you could use a listener. Yeah, and that's the thing we usually do when we have a database load balancer in between. We connect to a listener, and the listener connects towards the SQL itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say good luck. Read it a little bit. Here is a flow that I've designed. Yeah, let's just make it a
Yeah.
little bit smaller so that we have it on screen. But this is these are so typical from those documentation documents that I make. Yeah, it might be something for you. It might be something for Paulo or Felipe, maybe. Yeah, but this is basically. I'm not going to say that it is a good representation. Yeah, but people tend to recognize elements in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, so make it visible for the ordinary user. Yeah, and your bananas plant will not look the same like your coffee plant, and your coffee plant one will not look the same like coffee plant number two. So it might
Yeah.
need a little bit specific representation of how people tend to do things.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
here a few sample flows. A good receipt from abroad. Yeah, what is done? That, and that is the flow. Yeah,
Yeah.
good received. Just some sample things. I don't say that you need to do the same thing. You need to, together with Paulo and the team of Sydney, yeah, Brazilianize or Latinize, or I don't know how you should say it, but make it work for your local market. Yeah, you don't need to be a
Yeah.
copy of us. You need to be a copy of something which works for you.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah. I will take a look and everything that
Yeah, and
to I see
I'm
how.
also not gonna say that it is completely documented, but there's a lot documented. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I'm seeing that.
yeah, so
Yeah. I have.
use this online documentation. It is really rich. It's not only work from me; it's also work from collaborators of Oryx. Yeah, other business consultants. Um, but mainly use it, look at it, consume it. For instance, over here, that's an exercise that I did in 2017, it seems. Yeah, yeah, you always
Yeah.
like my representation coming back. This was a case tool for Azure, I think. I think it was Azure, where we had multiple servers which were used. Yeah, and this was my study for the integrator on how they should balance their machines and how they should attribute the functionality in it.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah, so
Yes, it's very cool.
you could use all these samples to make your local Brazilian version out of it.
Yes, I will do that. I will text and try and
Yeah. So this on the environment references. Yeah, I'm gonna put it back bigger. So over here we were at that read. Okay, then we can go to the next section. System requirements. Yeah, this is also something that we often get.
yeah,
Okay, what do we need? Yeah, very high level. On a very high level. Yeah, on a very high level.
yes,
So if you are in a particular phase that you're talking to, for instance, managers or business owners, yeah, you can talk a little bit on those things, but you don't need to go in depth. If you then go into
yeah,
depth, yeah, you will fail because they are not that
yeah,
technical. Yeah, so
yeah,
these are the system requirements on a very high level. So like
yeah,
a Web3 based browser. Yeah, uh, do you
yeah,
have Firefox? No, but I do have Chrome. Okay, Chrome is also okay. Yeah, a touch device. I'm having an iPad or I'm having an Android. It will work. The cloud version then. It will work on that on because these are typical questions that they can get. Yeah, can I see if you can sell it, Mr. President? Yeah, in the morning when you're eating your breakfast, you take your tablet and you see you can follow.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But we need to install the web edition, and you need to have a public gateway to the internet, which is accessible from distance. But that's the problem
yeah,
of the integrator, which can also be you. Yeah, but he remembers tablet, morning, drinking coffee, eating bacon and eggs. Yeah, that's what he remembers. You, you,
yeah, yes.
you understand what I'm saying?
That's a good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I understand. This is a good
if,
speech.
if, yeah, if you go and you buy a car, yeah, and you go to that salesperson and you say, hey, in the weekend I like to go hiking, yeah, can I go with this car off road? He will say, sure you
Yeah,
can, yeah.
yeah,
And once you are
yeah, yeah,
behind the desk, you want to go off road, yes, okay, then I put the option 4x4 and 4-wheel drive on, yeah.
yeah.
He didn't lie.
I
You
like
can
it.
go offside. Yeah. Once you're making your
Yeah,
bulleted list of the options that you really takes, you want to go offside. You want to go hiking with the car. Yes, we do. Okay. For your convenience, best thing to do is put a 4-wheel drive on it. But if in the store itself, he already says, but then you need to buy an option. Yeah. Then it could be that it was already, yeah, but the car is already expensive enough. You understand?
yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Understood.
Then a few technology characteristics. Yeah. Again, such an easy template so that people can see it, what place. Yeah. In not so difficult words.
No,
Yeah.
no.
If you clicked through that link, it would go in depth. This is rather simple. Okay. You need to adapt it to the level that people usually are used in Brazil. Yeah, but basically,
Yeah,
this says it a little bit, yeah, on each and every level. Very simple.
Yeah, I saw that. It's only each people made his function, then you get all information
Yeah,
easily.
yeah.
It's,
So
it's not only one to do everything. As each one make your
yeah, but the deeper you go and the more options you want, the bigger the dosher will become. Yeah. And
yeah
everything which you can read is in the application. Yeah.
yeah
But George and Caroline, if I now need to explain already now in this level everything, yeah, then we're now already in a session of 3 hours and a half. Yeah, and
yeah.
I
I saw
think we're
that.
gonna stop. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording in a while. I'm
Yeah
gonna migrate it. I'm gonna send it to you. But you have
yes
in 3 hours time with everything what I said to you, you have a working demonstration
yeah
version.
yeah. Now I can begin and test and try and
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Now
what we
I have
now
all.
need to do, what we need to do now is, yeah, get to know the application. Yeah,
Yes.
and I mean
Yes.
the application of the elements which are crucial in doing a case. The only thing that I don't know, and that's something where Katja needs to fill in later, that is what will be the responsibility of you two versus what will be the responsibility of Paulo, or what will be the responsibility of other peoples which are involved. Yeah?
Our responsibility is only technical, but I need to know every step to can support
Yeah,
we can support the people.
yeah.
And in this moment, we need to study very carefully all the details to support the people.
Yeah. Okay. But basically, I'm gonna send you a link to the videotape. Yeah. Once I've converted
Yeah,
that's gonna run a few hours, I think. I'm gonna upload it with a WeTransfer, and please acknowledge, yeah, that you have received it.
yeah, yeah. And I will install in my server on the office.
Yeah.
This is my test, my homework.
Yeah.
I will begin to install step by step and see if I have another problem or something like.
Yeah.
But
But
this
if
is my first step. I will install
yeah,
in my server.
if I can reach it through TeamViewer, I can assist you at whatever step you're stuck with.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you. But you are very kind. And,
Thank you.
I thank you for all.
Yeah, no, okay, that's what we are engaged for, so no problem at all. So
Yeah.
basically,
I, this is my English speech too. you, you know that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But we will better every month.
top, top. Uh, Caroline, George, I think this is a
Yes.
good moment to stop the session,
Yeah, I think
unless
too.
you still have questions.
No, no, for the moment, no.
Okay,
I will only thank you very much for
okay,
explanation.
my pleasure, my pleasure. I'm gonna stop the recording now.
Okay.